Hi, everyone. Welcome to your second webinar, Meet Your Account Executive. So today we have here with us two of our most important webinar. Sorry, Meet Your Account Executive. Just one second. So today we have, usually we have somebody that's here to help us in the background, but we won't have anybody today. So you're gonna see me go in and out of the camera. So that I can go start reading the questions. We have 4 people who's streaming live now, 5. So I'm gonna leave them to present themselves. You already know me, so.
Hello everyone, I'm Cristobal Madrid. I'm account executive in the program, and
Joseph Ortega. I am account executive too. Our role will be track all your activities during the program, keep down your financial and technical process. What else?
And well, we are going to be in charge of all the process of, to check your contracts, to check the insurance policies. And as Joseph says, it's very important to keep us updated about all your activities and all the information related to your project here in a startup Chile. Okay, we are going to be like your program buddies in this case.
Okay, perfect. So I don't see any incoming questions. So at the time being, what we can say are some general tips. So by now, most of the foreigners should already have their visas. If not, they will be about to have them. Remember that consulates are fast tracking, so you will be hearing from them very soon. There's still enough time. We still have a little bit over 2 weeks. So don't worry. Everybody that's already started their process of visas should have their visas on time. On the other hand, I don't know if we want to have some general tips as to.
Well, the first information that we are going to request to you is about your contract. In a few days, you're going to receive an email asking of how you want to receive the funds. Okay, there are 2 ways, so 2 payment methods. The first one is the lump sum agreement. It's I forgot how to say it in English, but it's like to receive the money in advance. Okay. In that case, you're going to receive 2 payments of 12 millions and a half. And for that process, you must pay for an insurance policy related to a company called HDI. Okay, we are going to help you with that process. Okay, but what we need to know is that if you want to receive the money in advance, or if you want to receive the money like in a reimbursement process. What I mean with this, that you are going to use your personal funds, and we are going to schedule financial meetings, like 4 or 5 financial meetings during the program, so we can reimburse expenses that you are going to make in that period. Okay? Do we have questions?
Not yet. We only have Rezo that says hi. Hi,
Hello.
Rezo.
Hello.
So guys, don't be shy. This is the time for you to be asking your questions. So normally we would also have Valentina here with us. She's an account executive that might be assigned to some of your projects, but today she was very busy. I think she was attending some financial meetings. So I've seen through the admissions that most of you have already reached out to your account executives, which is very good. Do remember that at this point you shouldn't be having that many doubts because you're not still making any expenses that the program will be reimbursing. So at the time being, your doubts should be very easy along the lines of expenses of the visa, of the plane tickets, and so forth. Maybe accommodation. And so forth.
Insurance.
Travel insurances, those expenses. Okay.
Okay, so Rezo is asking, please talk about expenses that are not allowed before we arrive to Chile because we need to get a transit visa.
Okay. For a transit visa, maybe you're going to have a lot of expenses related to accommodation, or maybe more than one trip. Sorry. So you need to update to your account executive about which cities you're going to be visiting and how much time you're going to stay in those cities or country, for example. Okay. But that is important, okay? We can evaluate those expenses. What we cannot reimburse is like, for example, food, urban transportation, and medicines, for example. But accommodation, the plane tickets, and for sure the legal expenses related to those trips can be evaluated and potentially can be approved, okay? So as soon as you have like what you need to do to have that transit visa, just let us know, and the account executive can evaluate those expenses, okay?
Great, thanks for that. No more incoming questions so far. I don't know.
Important information about the plane ticket, okay? As soon as you buy or reserve your ticket, please make sure to save the information about the itinerary of the trip. And after you make the trip, save your boarding pass, okay? We always recommend to keep the electronic boarding pass, not the physical one, okay? So you can have a copy in your computer, okay, or in your cell phone, or etc.
Yeah, and the most important thing, I think, please use your personal account, because we don't allow the corporate bank accounts, because actually you are the beneficiary, not your company, not your foreign company. So please use your personal money.
Yes.
Okay, we do have another question from Amos. What if we need to leave Chile for a business trip?
Yes, we can also evaluate those trips. In your first weeks here in Startup Chile, we are going to evaluate a budget that you are going to send us. And in that budget, you can include the potential business trips that you need to do, okay? We are going to have another big meeting called Financial Workshop and Technical Workshop, where we are going to explain you what you need to present to approve those expenses, or to evaluate those expenses, okay? But yeah, we can evaluate those cases, okay?
Okay, Reso says how to go about deposit for the stay. I guess that what he means to ask is the deposit for the accommodation, when they ask you to pay in advance.
Like in advance, okay. If you're talking about that, there in Chile, you have to pay for a warranty and also for the monthly rents. The warranty cannot be reimbursed, okay, because you can recover that amount, okay? If you have fees, for example, related to agencies, we cannot also reimburse. What we can reimburse is just the fees for hostels, for example, at your arrival to Chile, hostels or hotels for business trips, and your housing costs here in Chile. You can see the limit of housing costs in the terms and conditions also, okay?
Julio says hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Julio.
Hello.
Roberto is asking, may I get access to this budget template, please?
Yes.
We're going to send the template, I think, at the end of the week, but sure, we are going to send you this week, so no worries.
Yes, we are waiting to finalize these webinars, and then we're going to send you this budget milestone, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. No more questions at the moment. So while you guys come up with more questions, we can say, do expect step 5 in a couple of weeks, where we will be asking for some further information on your arrival and your insurance, if you're planning on coming with insurance. And we will also be making a WhatsApp group for the generation, which will be your informal channel of communication. So please do consider that if you want to reach anybody from the team, do continue to use our emails, as our cell phone numbers will always be our personal numbers. Mm-hmm. So just to get that clear. Okay, Julio says, what date should we return to our country? Should I buy a round trip flight?
Well,
that's the end of the day.
Yeah.
The end day of the contract.
Yeah. As you know, your project lasts like 7 months.
7 months.
Considering the additional month from your arrival, you are going to stay like 8 months approximately. So you can count that period starting from the initial activities of the Startup Chile program. Anyway, if you can buy just a one-way ticket to Chile, I know that is more expensive, but if you can evaluate that alternative, it's better, because we can reimburse the 100% of the ticket in the first financial meeting, as you will see in the future, okay? If you buy a round trip ticket, we can reimburse half of the ticket in the first meeting and half of the on the second half of the meeting in the second financial meeting. Okay, so we are not going to give you an exact date to return, okay? But after this webinar, we can send you by email some potential ending dates of your startup so you can evaluate if you want to buy a round plane ticket, sorry, and maybe with the open return, so you can change that date a little bit, okay?
Okay, we have another question. I think it's regarding to a former comment. Say I borrowed money from a friend to travel. So the payment transaction is not in my account. How can I repay him?
Just you have to make a reimbursement from you to your friend, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so maybe basically your friend should make the deposit to your account. You should be paying with the money that's coming out from your account, and then once you get reimbursed into your account, you can just give that money back. Okay. Next question, Rene. How has the experience of previous generations been regarding the guarantee of the project? For example, to get the cash up front.
Okay, the process is very fast, okay? But if you are Chilean, like in your case, Rene, you have to make sure that you don't have any debt here in the country, okay? As you know, the GOM or those things, okay? So check that, because the insurance policy make an evaluation, okay, of your finances here. But in general, it's very fast, okay?
Okay, so Amos says, besides finances for business trips, can the team leader be away from Chile for a couple of weeks or months?
Months, not, okay? If you need to go for 2 weeks, we have like a limit of 3 weeks at maximum to make business trips in like the maximum period that we approve or we evaluate, okay? But months, no. As you know, the team leader and the beneficiary must be here fully dedicated to the program. So that's why we are so insistent to really evaluate if you need to stay out of the Chile, okay? Out of the country, sorry.
Okay, Newton says, should I buy separate tickets, in my case, for me and my wife, if she is not in the team? I understand that only my ticket will be refunded. Is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
So the question is, if both tickets are in the same invoice, can I just get refunded for one, or do I need to have 2 invoices?
If you can receive just one invoice, is the best case, okay? Because if you receive just one invoice, we are going to approve half of the ticket, okay? So usually that is the process that we do. But if you can have separate documents, is the best case.
Can we have, okay, Julio, can we have the credits from Amazon Web Services? Yes, for sure. Almost all of the perks you will be able to use once no, not all of them. Some you can use once you've signed the contract, and others you can use as soon as the program begins. So each of them has a term and condition associated to it, but you can see all that information online on the Suppers Online site. You can browse all the perks in there and see how they work. And if you have any questions, you can always direct them to Daniela. Her email is on Suppers Online too. Okay, so in our case, our company is already incorporated in the US. I understand that we have to incorporate a subsidiary of the US company in Chile.
Not necessary, because if you receive the money, you just have to open a Chilean bank account. But if you want to receive a salary, you have to open a Chilean company. It's a little difference, but it is super important, because one thing is your salary and another thing is it's the money you receive with us, for us.
So he asks if you would recommend to start the incorporation now or wait.
If you can do it now, it's better, because we can evaluate the approval of the company from Corfo as soon as you arrive to Chile, or we start the process of signing the contracts with those things, okay? We're going to give you more information about that in the workshops, but yes, if you can start now, it's the best way.
In that case, I recommend you send an email to your account executive in case you want to open the Chilean company before they start the seed program.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. I'm not sure if I understand. It says, I am studying at night the audit career in Finisterra, but I need to know if I can apply as a headline since the project we have is related to the audit. Are you somebody that has not applied yet are you not part of Generation 22 or Huella? Fernolds, if it's easier for you to just type the question in Spanish, maybe we can help you translate and understand the question a little bit better. So we're going to continue with the next in the meantime. As per calendar, it's 30th of January that we graduate date. So can we book for the first week, like 4th of February?
No, in fact not, because the graduation is after the demo day, and as you will see, the period of the project is more than is after the end. It's after the demo day. Okay, a few weeks after that. Okay, that's why we are not going to give you the exact date now. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Fernolds, Fernolds, you're not part of Generation 22, so this is actually a webinar that's dedicated only for people that are already participating in the program. We hold special webinars for people that are that have questions regarding the application process. I would suggest that for the time being, you can go through our terms and conditions in the website, and if you have any questions, direct them to contact@startupchile.org. Okay, sorry we can't help you there. Kenneth said, is it possible to leave for about a week if I pay for my own ticket to visit my family?
If you are the team leader, it's just yes or no.
I think he is.
If you are the team leader, you should evaluate that case with your account executive. Okay. Send him or her an email.
Okay, Marcelo is asking, in the playbook, it's written that we have 600,000 pesos for housing, but if we decide to receive the salary of 1 million pesos, this 600 would not be incorporated. Do we need to decide?
Yes, you need to decide. If you want to receive the salary, it's just the salary. If you want to receive reimburse the rent, it's just the rent. As soon as you present your salaries, you cannot return to the rent, okay? You present your first salary, and after that, you are going to present just your salaries, okay?
Okay, so yes, Kenneth asking about visiting the family. He is a team leader.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, check with your account executive, okay?
Okay, no more incoming questions. So guys, if you're still having doubts about housing, accommodation, what kind of insurance you can use here, remember to reach out to community, Facebook participants. If you haven't joined, do join now. And also, reach out to your landing buddy as well if you haven't. These are persons that have been through the program that can introduce you to very interesting people of a new generation. So use all these connections that we're providing. So Julio, at the time of being in the program, will we have a salary?
Yes, as we explained, you have that alternative, but you need to be incorporated here in Chile, okay, to evaluate all the legal documents that you need to present for a salary, okay? If you're not going to present the salary, you can present your housing cost. And the housing costs include the rent and the basic services like water bills, electricity bills, gas bills, for example. Cable TV, not, okay?
Okay, Amos says, the playbook says that we have to stay in Chile for 9 months. What is the penalty if we have to cut short the program, like for an urgent issue, like an investor asks you to come back?
Okay, those cases are very exceptional, and we have to evaluate it with the complete program, okay, with the director of the program, etc. But yes, we have some alternatives to solve those cases, and we also recommend to talk with your account executive if you are evaluating that situation. Okay, we can have an early termination of the project. Okay, but there are some more alternatives. Okay, depend of the case.
Okay, so Rezo says, so if I don't opt for the salary, how do I go about to claim the other expenses like food, stay, and travel?
Okay, as we explained, if there are some expenses that cannot be reimbursed, like food. Okay, about travel, if it's a business trip, we can evaluate that expense. But as we said, urban transportation or I don't know, like cable TV, as we said, and other expenses cannot be reimbursed. Okay, remember that your salary is to cover all the expenses that you want, like food. Okay, but the housing cost is just for housing, not for anything else. Okay.
Okay, so Newton, how is the incorporation process? Do all board members need to go to Chile to incorporate the company?
Actually, we don't explain the incorporation process because it's a specific topic where the most of the time the lawyers helps the different beneficiaries in order to open the Chilean company. But the thing is, you as natural person, you have to open the Chilean company, not your foreign company. Because we need to confirm that you are the owner at least the 10% of that Chilean company. That is super important because sometimes the beneficiaries open the Chilean company as a subsidiary of the foreign company. Thus, in this case, please keep in mind you have at least the 10% of the Chilean company.
Okay, thanks, Joe. When will we have the full program schedule?
The first weeks of the program. Yeah.
Yes, during the first week of the program, you should have all the more minor detailed activities that will be going on. Do consider that there are some weekly activities. So yes, during workshop day, exactly, during workshop day, which is the second day of your orientation week. But just to keep in mind, we usually have activities going on Thursdays and Fridays, which are related to sub-academies, pitch trainings, and so forth. So most of the times you will be required to assist or a Thursday or a Friday or both. Can we incorporate Chilean company as a subsidiary of headquarters of a main company?
No, unfortunately, you need to create a new company here in Chile. As Joseph explained, it's not necessary to have like the full team here in Chile, or it's necessary to bring all the partners of your original company. But yes, need to be a completely new company. Okay, you can check in the perks that we have some legal companies that can give you support, and you can evaluate their services in advance from this moment. So check that so you can understand what you need to do to be incorporated here. Okay.
Okay, Cristian, this is a question for me. In our case, we already got to Chile in February, both co-founders, and got our temporary visa, but it expires in 1 year, February 2020. The program would be still running after the date. What do you recommend in this case? So Cristian, we can help you and sponsor you, you and everyone else, if you want to stay, to apply for a second temporary resident visa, being here in Chile. So it's a process that you can do here, and we'll help you through it. So it won't be an issue. Julio says, is it necessary to have a US visa for any event? No, Julio. It's not necessary to have any other kind of visa unless your business requires it and you want to open markets at different places. Then, of course, you will have to apply to the visas that these places need. But for our program, you just need to have a Chilean visa. Okay, so Rezo says, can my co-founder, who would be in the US, draw salary?
No, in fact, all the salaries of the team members must be of those that are going to be here in Chile.
Newton, in case of incorporation, there is the obligation to have the insurance held for Chilean public system. Is that right? In this case, do I need to keep the health travel insurance?
Well, it depends. Yeah, it depends because you can receive the salary in two ways, okay, depending of your company also, okay. So if you have a health insurance, in that case, it's different because as soon as you incorporate here in Chile, then you have the contract with your company. In that period will be like a few months or a few weeks that you're not going to be covered for any kind of health insurance. Okay? So it's your decision, and in the future, I don't know, it's difficult to check now that. Okay, if you want more information about that, contact your account executive. Okay, or your lawyer. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the company formation types?
Well, the most used here is the SPA, but there are a lot of alternatives of companies, okay? Those are very legal specific questions, okay? And as I explained, you can check in the perks, some legal companies that we have that can give you support about that, some guidelines about what is the best case or what is the best alternative, for you to create a company here in Chile, okay?
Yeah, remember that you have a landing body, and Roy, they already open a Chilean company that's by this to ask for that case.
Yeah.
For those case.
Marcelo, all the expenses with the visa can be reimbursed, like notarias, flights to get the visas, etc.
Yes, as we explained about the flight tickets to get a visa, and make sure to send the information to your account executive so we can be updated about that you need to make that trip for this period to make this legal process, okay?
Nicolas, hi, what do I have to do to change my team members?
You cannot change your team members, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry for that. Tomas, credit card travel insurance is considered as a travel insurance?
Credit card.
It depends because we always need an invoice and a brief of the insurance policy, okay? So if you have those documents, send them to your account executive to evaluate it, okay?
Yeah.
But just with that, we cannot tell you if it's right or not. Okay,
Okay, so Russell is asking what documents are required to open a company, to register a company or to sign the contract, and which documents should he bring to Chile?
Which documents you need to bring from Georgia? I don't understand, sorry.
What? The first step is getting the Chilean route, but I don't know what exactly they need.
Yeah, because here in Chile,
no,
from your country, nothing. Here in Chile, you are going to have all the necessary documents to open an account.
Here in Chile, you're gonna start from zero, and you're gonna have to do a whole new, fresh procedure with us. So this means that everything that you have, you only need your passport, basically. Everything that you have from your foreign company won't be legally. You won't be legally to use it here. So, Roberto, I have an annual assistance health plan. Already acquired by April. May I get a partial reimbursement?
June, yes, we can evaluate a partial reimbursement.
Perfect. Amos, we are in the middle of raising funds, so we are concerned with the commitment to the program for the whole duration. What suggestions do you have for us before we make the trip to Chile?
Yeah, so you should evaluate that case, how much time you want to stay here in Chile, because as you know, we need you fully dedicated here, okay? The team leaders, at least the team leaders must be here, okay? So check the periods when you need to return to your country, or I don't know what you need to do.
Also keep in mind that for us it's very important, or we will also assess during the entire duration of the program your commitment to opening your company here or your market here in Chile and Latin America in general. So if for you it's coming to Chile is not aligned to your company's objectives in the midterm, maybe yes, of course you should reconsider coming. In the playbook, it indicates that you need approximately $3,000 per month to be able to subsist. Is that amount necessary, or do you need less or more?
Well, it's just a suggestion, yeah.
It's an estimation.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion, an estimation, so it depends of how much money you want to use, I don't know.
So in that case, Julio, I would also suggest that you reach out to your Latin buddy and see what he has to say about how much money he spends per month. Rezo says, I have already booked a round trip tickets, but payment was made from my friend's account. So how do I return to him?
Yes, as we explained, if, for example, if your friend has paid using a debit card, okay, you must show the statement of your friend and then return the money to your friend, okay, from a personal bank account that belongs to you, for sure. But that's it.
Okay. For flight tickets, the team leader can buy all tickets for the team.
Yes, he can do that.
Okay, perfect.
But when we are talking about the team, we just consider the team members, not another person.
Employees.
Not employees, yes. Remember to keep in mind your application. Always your applications. Those are the official team members for us, okay?
And get full reimbursement for each one of the team members? Yes. And the same goes to the visas. So if your team members are also making expenses to get their visas, they will also be reimbursed. Again, only for the 2 team members that are written down in your original application.
Also, make sure to have a document from the airline or from the agency that shows the name of the passengers, okay? So we can check that are, in fact, official team members.
If team leader is heavily involved with business out of Chile, can the team member represent him? Because we are unable to change the team leader.
No, in fact, no. That's why we always ask in the interviews if the team leader can be fully dedicated here in Chile, okay? Because we cannot make changes during the program.
So almost this would be a breach in the contract, and it's actually a reason of canceling your participation in the program. We've had many cases of really, really good startups that have not been able to participate because situations like the one you're explaining. So just to have that in mind. Yes, the team members are allowed in the application. Okay, perfect.
Great.
Rezo, say I need to invite my employees in the middle of the program. Will their visas be processed? How do we apply for a visa for them? Yes, Rezo, we can also sponsor the visa of your employees. However, because they're employees, you won't be able to get reimbursed for visa costs or ticket costs. So those would be on you. But yes, we can sponsor employees' visa and as well significant others, family, daughters, sons, and parents. So yes, if you want to do that eventually, there's a procedure. You just have to look up the suppers online and then let me know. But what if some members decided to get out of the project because of personal reasons? To whom should I speak to? So you've lost team members.
Yeah, remember that we need the dedication of the team leader, the beneficiary. If the team members are going to stay in their countries, for us it's not a problem. They can stay in their countries, but the team leader must be here in Chile, dedicated to the project, okay, and to the program.
So Marcelo wants to know if he will have to do a first pitch on the first weeks, or will we be prepared by Startup Chile?
Yeah, on the first week, you're going to...
Second week.
Sorry, in the second week, you will make a pitch, like in the intro day, but the idea is that, like to check like your level, like how is your pitch in this stage. So then in the pitch day and potentially in the demo day, we can check all your progress, okay? You're going to have pitch trainings and all those like trainings to support to improve your pitch, okay? But initially we want to check your stage, your level, okay?
But don't worry, we will give you out some headlines and some basic information for you to prepare for that first pitch. And if you have questions, of course, we're here to help. Yes, we're here to help. No more questions at the moment. So, okay, guys, we hope this means that things are getting across very clearly, and that you are very informed and well prepared to come join us in a couple of weeks. We're super excited to have you. We're working very hard to get everything up and ready for your welcome. Keep in mind that during that first week, orientation week, there's going to be a lot of trámites going on. We're going to have to do a lot of basic procedures to get you up and ready, to get yourself incorporated in Chile, your Chilean ID, your bank account. So we're going to ask you to be very patient because we do have a lot of fast tracks, but even so, things can be a little bit slow and bureaucratic. But believe me, we work as fast as we can, and we work way faster than it would be if you would come here by yourselves. So, okay, so we have another question. What is the average time to receive the first round of the funds? So all the expenses are made. So all the expenses made till that date will be, I think that we have.
Yeah, I think that's the question. You can receive the money, in the worst case, you're going to receive the money in the second month. In the second month after your arrival to Chile, okay? That's the worst case. We always try to speed up that so you can receive the money before that period, okay? But that's the worst case.
Julio wants to know, is it necessary to create a company in Chile to be able to sell our products in Chile?
Yes. If you want to sell, if you want to open your market, yes, we recommend to have a Chilean company.
Because you're going to have to invoice.
Exactly. You have to make facturas or invoices, yeah.
Okay, no more questions. Okay, guys, are you sure? No more questions? So remember, you will be receiving step 5 a week before your arrival. We're also planning a very nice and entertaining welcome party for you on Friday 19th. So be ready also to come and have some fun. It's not all work. There's going to be also some fun community activities. Okay, so any other general tips before we?
Yeah, guys, remember that this webinar is just to. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I have still not heard from the India embassy. It just says the consulate in the status. What does that mean? Reso, this means that the consulate is reviewing your documents, but your visa is being processed. It should probably be from here to Friday. You should be hearing back from them. So don't worry, it's just a matter of time. If there is something coming up with the visa, if there is a real problem with the visa, they will let us know and we will inform you. But if everything is okay, it should be just a matter of a couple of days. Nicolas, if I paid for the insurance to receive the money before, that will be at the beginning of the program, or do I still have to wait for the 2 months?
The process of the insurance policy will be before you receive the money. It's to receive the money, in fact. So will be like in the first month, during the first month, but the timelines are the same, okay? In fact, for the reimbursement process, we have some different timelines, okay? But yes, that's the limit that we have.
So Julio says, thanks, you have been friendly, hope to see you soon. Thank you, Julio. Marcelo has another question. Just to confirm, as I will decide to receive a salary, I don't have to worry about Airbnb or housing rental.
If you're not going to present the Airbnb or the rent, no.
No, that's money of free disposal for you.
Yeah.
Your salary.
Sorry, an important tip. The salary, if you don't have the Chilean company here, the salary can be reimbursed as soon as you have the company approved by Corfo, okay? If you arrive here to Chile, you will not have a company approved by Corfo if you have applied as an individual, as a natural person, okay? So make sure of that, okay?
One last question from Rene. How is the timing in the reimbursement model? It's the same.
Yeah, it's usually the same, but the difference is that you can schedule the first financial meeting as soon as you have the notification letter from Corfo. Okay, that's a very specific information, so you can check the details with your account executive. Okay, but after that, we are going to give you the timeline, sorry, of the reimbursement process. Okay, it's different because there are more payments, not just two. Okay.
Also wants to know any precautions that I have to consider before I arrive there, like what all insurance should I take, travel, health, which insurance are reclaimable?
And well,
¿Qué seguros pueden ser reembolsados?
Where we can approve the insurance, the health insurance, the travel insurance, what else?
sorry, the travel insurance and the health insurance usually is like the same. Okay, so make sure that you are going to present a health insurance to cover like your period here in Chile. Okay,
yeah,
that we means with travel or health insurance. Okay,
the difference is for provider.
Mm-hmm.
The most of the time we hire insurance in health insurance by health company in your country, but on the other hand, you hire travel insurance for your, I don't know, your bank, your airline, or insurance companies. That's the difference, mainly.
There are going to be two insurances. The first one is to receive the money, and the other one is to health or travel insurance. Okay, so those are the insurances that can be reimbursed in summary.
Newton says, if I pay something in installments on the credit card, the refund will be paid in installments too?
We never recommend to pay in installments, but if you need to make that, first of all, check with your account executives, and if he evaluates the approval of that, yes, we're going to reimburse according to the installments that you have made.
And then Christian says, the shareholder of the Chilean company, when we incorporate, could be our main company, US company. Is this right? As a subsidiary of the main.
Check that with your account executive, okay? Yes. We don't want to confuse you, and we need more information about that, okay? To give you the accurate feedback.
Okay, so guys, just to also, I think that Cristóbal was going to say that before. Yeah. There's going to be many instances. You're going to have financial workshops. You're going to have a lot of information, new information of these very, very specific questions that you have, and they will all be answered in time. So don't feel very anxious now, because it doesn't make sense for us to give you all this information now, because we will probably have to review it again once you're here and once you have everything ready, and everything will make a lot more sense and will be easier for us to explain. Mm-hmm. So don't feel that overwhelmed. We are here to help you. Mm-hmm. Account executives will be with you along the whole process, along all the way. And yes, so don't worry. Our job is to make your things as smooth as possible, and we're very committed to that. So don't worry on that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Reso says, also I heard from the landing buddy that to receive the next half of the 40K, we need to incorporate in Chile. And what is the criteria for the next round? Oh, okay, Reso. So you.
Mm-hmm. La extension.
If you're talking about extension,
it's mandatory to open a Chile account if you want to apply at the next stage, extra money.
Yes, the logic behind that is that you're going to be investing money in Chile, mm-hmm. right? Because you're wanting to stay here. So yes, you will have to be incorporated. And what is the criteria for the next round? Basically, there's a lot of things that are taking into account. I think the most important is the progress that you make during the program. So it doesn't really matter if you're coming in an earlier stage, then we don't maybe expect you to be selling. But it is very important to us as to how much progress you've made in those entire months. Mm-hmm. Do also consider that we don't have a specific amount of slots available. So, for example, within a generation, if we think that 30 of the projects are good to go and are good to receive extension, then 30 will receive extension. So you're not really competing against each other. This is all about you and the progress that you're making. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, guys, so no more incoming questions. Thank you. Thank you for being online. Thank you for your time. We hope that we've helped you a little bit. And also, please do remember that we have a lot more instances where we will be answering many, many other questions. Okay?
Mhm.
So, awesome. See you in a couple of weeks. Have a great afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.